Welcome back to MLB Central, presented by Hyundai.
Nailed it.
Jason Castro and Bo Porter are arguing this cannot be the case.
Something's going on here.
And we've got coaches going at it. Wendelstedt has ejected Porter. Porter obviously had some comments to make for Wendelstedt.
Hey, when you start pointing, did that coach know that you locked up Joey Galloway?
No,
at Iowa? I don't think
you read the bio.
I knew. All right. All right. This is one of my favorite segments. Bo knows. We're going to go over a bunch of topics. You saw something in Toronto, Philly, extra inning-wise, that we want to bounce some stuff off each other. So take me inside what were you thinking with Bo Bichette coming to the plate?
Well, especially when you start talking about championship baseball. When you look at the situation of extra innings as the rules, have put us in, as the road team, and Bo Bichette, obviously he has tremendous power. But in this situation, he gets an 0-0 breaking ball, and if we can run that back for a second, he gets an 0-0 breaking ball and hits a ground ball to the shortstop. It's a man on second base, there's nobody out. The manager did not have him bunt, which he's hitting in the 3-hole, so they got 3, 4, 5 coming up. But in that situation, you have to say to yourself, even if I hit a ground ball, I'm going to move this guy.
Yeah, I have to get him off.
I'm going to move this guy, and I'm going to drive the ball the other way. So I have Kirk coming behind me, who is a contact hitter. You put your team in a situation to at least have a chance to score one run, especially knowing if we go to the next inning and the Phillies, they have 6, 7, 8, 9 coming up. So they're at the back end of their lineup in which they're going to play situational baseball.
Yeah.
So now you force the other manager, if you're up by 1, they're not sacrifice bunting to tie the game. So now you put them in a situation where he wants to play for 1 run, but now you force them to have Scott swing the bat.
So for me, like diving into this analytically, for the Blue Jays, take Bo Bichette out of it, even if they're at the back end of their lineup right there. The numbers will tell you, as the road team, 1 run's not going to win us this game. So that's why you never see these teams bunt in that situation, as opposed to, as soon as Philly, they don't score.
Now, as the road
over.
team, that's why I said, depending on
know where the home team
the home team is at in their lineup. So let's just say they had, Schwarber, Harper, they had the big guns. Real Muto coming.
Got it.
Now we're swinging because we're gonna have to score at least 2.
All right, I like it. All right, how do you keep players engaged when you're out of it? Non-contending teams. I think there's an easy answer to this.
Well, it's an easy answer, and I tell you what, it better have started in spring training. And you have to set the standard for your ball club early on that you're going to play until the last out. That starts real early. But at the end of the day, and I was in this position a lot, when you're with those ball clubs that are in transition, they're rebuilding, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Cincinnati Reds, the Oakland Athletics, the Baltimore Orioles is kind of in that position as well. The motivation for the player is that they want to stay in the big leagues.
No doubt.
They want to get paid. They want to get to arbitration. And all of those organizations right now are evaluating
making decisions.
The players.
That's
why I said to you before, those are dangerous teams to play this time of year because of that motivating factor.
No doubt. And I always said, my dad used to say this to me all the time, it's an individual game that makes up a team. It's not like football. Me and you come from that school of, like, everybody's got to do their job for this play to be successful.
Yes.
When you're out of it, you start thinking about numbers. You start thinking about, how do I get to spring training and have this manager put me on this roster?
So self-motivation will be a huge part of it.
You become very selfish in this situation. All right, we've already clinched a postseason berth. Bo holds a meeting. How is he going to handle some of the stars down the stretch, or the team as a whole?
Well, the one thing is, when you're able to clinch early, you give yourself the luxury to rest your players. For me, it would only be dangerous for a young team. But when you have veteran players like the Dodgers, the Astros.
You saw Altuve, you're down.
This is a great time for them because they get to rest their body. For them, the game is more mental than physical anyway.
Yep.
So giving them an opportunity to actually recharge their battery will have them fresh and ready to go in the postseason.
I always say, at some point, your body goes on cruise control. You know exactly what you need to do to get ready and be ready for the postseason. All right, so you get a bye in the first round. You got 5 days off. You know as well as I do, 24 hours is pushing it. 36, I need an AB to calibrate that fastball. Now you're giving me 5 days off, and I got to take on a team that's just played a tough series.
Yes, I think you want to give 1 day off early. In between, you want to have some really intense workouts. And when I say intense workouts, you got to really break a sweat. You want to get it going. You want to get a lather going.
You're doing like a sim game?
Like a sim game. You want the hitters to see live arms. You want the pitchers to see live hitters in the batter's box. You also, one of the things that I think is very important is you want to run the bases. So in a controlled environment, you get everybody out there, you go first to third, you go second to home, you run the bases so that you don't lose that element that is so important come the postseason.
You want the bye.
Yes, you definitely want the bye.
100%.
And more importantly, you want the bye because you want to set your pitching up.
Exactly.
That's why for me, the Mets winning the National League East.
Somebody's got to win that East.
It's more imperative than the Braves. I think the Braves have enough depth to where even if they don't win the East, they can go play a wild card series and still be okay moving forward. But the Mets, they need to have those two guns lined up.
What's the one matchup, if it stays the same right here, that you would be locked in? Obviously, the National League jumps out. American League.
Ooh.
Seattle-Cleveland intrigues me.
Seattle-Cleveland, that's a really good matchup.
Gotta go to
me, Cleveland, I've said this all along, D-Row, they are a very dangerous team in the playoffs because of all the things in which they do well.
I love it.
Yes.
I love breaking bread with you, Bill.